And now, it's that time of the week once again. Welcome to the Departure Lounge podcast with your host, Tom Whittle, your ticket to the home of aviation podcasts. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Huge thank you to our channel member, Lynn Keeble. Good evening. Welcome to the Departure Lounge podcast here on the Departure Lounge YouTube channel, episode number 94. I hope you are well. Good to see a lot of people in the chat already. But obviously, everyone looks forward to this particular episode of the podcast. So much to happen today, so we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to get into it, say hello to you lot afterwards, and go from there. So without further ado, in the hot seat tonight, he is your reigning defending, he's not defending it tonight, Quizness Jet champion. It is, of course, former co-host, now moderator, and normally washes clothes on a Sunday. It is, of course, let me change that back. Hang on. There we go. I didn't do that early enough. Steve Wooldridge. Steve, good evening to you. How are you?
Yeah, evening, Tommy. Evening, everyone at home. It's nice to be here. I being champion has been a double-edged sword. Like, everywhere I go now, people got random girls throwing knickers at me in the street. It's a strange life. Like even Amsterdam, and people were recognising me, even with a fake moustache. So, yeah, to be honest. What about yourself? How you been?
Yeah, not too bad. Been a bit of a quiet week, really. But yeah, other than that, all is well. Tried to stream this morning, Sim crashed, so good times. So yeah, so all good. Right, let's like I say, let's waste no more time and go straight into the show. Before we do, let's go into the housekeeping. Say hello to the wonderful people in the chat. And go from there. So we're on social media. You can see down the bottom now. You can either find the links in the description or search for the tags which I've put now at the bottom of the screen. So it makes things easier for you to find us throughout the show. So do give us a follow on that to keep up to date with everything happening with the show. We also have a merch shop, which you can obviously buy t-shirts and everything else on the site, so do check that out. That is also in the description below. To become a member and get a shout out, just like Lynn did and Carl last week, hit the join button. If you do that, your name gets added to the end of the show. I can't remember if I've even done it this week. I might have done. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, your name gets added to the end of videos, live streams, chats, etc., and you get a good little shout out as well. So do consider helping that. Obviously helps the channel out immensely as well. And of course, we're looking to try and bring better content. So that's what it would basically go to. No personal stuff, just literally there to help the channel and bring you a lot better stuff. So do consider that. Also, if you wish to be a guest on the show, whether it's to do Rate My Liveries, to have a general chat with us, or to be part of the Quizness Jet show. Of course, we are still open for people that might want to put themselves forward for it. We'll show you who we've got confirmed probably towards the end of the show. But if you do want to come onto the show in any capacity, get in touch with us, and we'll get you on the show as soon as possible. So let's have a look and see who is in the chat. So we've got Carl Crawford, of course. Good to see you. Jim Gemmell saying cult of personality. It is indeed, but a different variation of it because I don't want any copyright strikes again. So yes, that is that. But good evening to you. Good evening to Wayne Hart. Sean, just going to go through and read some names here. Gail Leary, Lynn Keeble, MacJet TV Live Express, whose name constantly changes every 2 hours. Good to see you. Michael Painter, good to see you as well. Rob Brown, as always. London Plane Spotting, hello, good to see you. Wayne recommended watching, so thought I'd give it a go. Well, good to see you. Yeah, first time watcher. Hopefully you're not going to be too disappointed. If you are, sorry. But yeah, no, good to see you. Hopefully you enjoy the show here this evening. So if you are new to the channel and you don't quite know what we're doing tonight, or don't quite know the premises of doing it, we are doing Rate My Liveries, which is also what we call Savage Sunday, because it is where people have the opportunity to be absolute savages when it comes to people's choice of favorite liveries. We will bring 10 pictures. Oh, there you go. 10 pictures up on the screen of favorite liveries that Steve has picked for us today. And we'll have a chat about them, and then we'll rate them out of 10 at the end. I imagine there's going to be quite a bit of savagery here, so we'll see how we get on. So yeah, Steve, you're in the hot seat. We'll get straight into it.
Yeah, lovely job.
The first one, which I had to get another picture for, but it's a nice one, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it should do all right. It is the Hawaiian livery, which here is adorning the A330 200. I think we've spoken about this before on the show. But yeah, why'd you pick this one?
Yeah, well, straight off the bat, I just a 10 out of 10, but it's probably Aloha score than that. There you go.
Oh,
That's as good. Yeah, I'll allow a couple of minutes for people to regain their.
We're off to a good start, people. We're off to a good start.
But yeah, no. As a livery, it kind of sort of got the Hawaiian flower and the lady on the back there, and I just think it's done simple, but it catches the essence of where it's from. So yeah, the only colour on the engine covers wouldn't have gone amiss, but other than that, I think it's the different colours on the tails and what have you.
Yeah, I can't say a bad word about it. It is one of my favourite liveries that's out there at the moment, just like you say, because I think there are probably a few liveries that will actually capture the essence of where they're actually representing, and I think it doesn't get much more representative than what Hawaiian have thrown out, where it's typically Hawaiian sort of thing, and I think it kind of grabs a lot of people's attention to kind of say, oh well, I think the colours as well. The colours help. I think the colours help as well. It's like a bright colour, and I think that kind of engages a lot of people with potentially making a visit over to Hawaii. Lots of people saying about engine covers. I don't think it needs anything, if I'm honest. I don't think it need. I think it's pretty much spot on as it is. If you ask me, but then
maybe
again,
the flower back might look nice on it. Maybe.
Yeah, I can sort of see maybe, like I say, as that towards the back of the plane, the flower sort of maybe half covering the covers, maybe. But yeah, I mean, yeah, decent start, I think. Very, very good start. Have a think then about your rating out of 10. We'll see what people have put. Thankfully, I'll take it off screen just for the minute. Doesn't seem to be much savagery at the minute, so we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Ian Hartley's there, so he's obviously woken up. Good to see you. Let's have a look here. So, Oh dear. Right, let's have a look. See what people have said. I mean, people giving ratings already. Jim Gemmel's agreeing with the engine covers. Rob Brown says it's a decent start to proceedings. Yeah, lots of people just rating straight away. So we'll go straight into it. We'll get this one out of the way. Hawaiian for you then, Steve. I know you said you wanted to give it 10 out of 10, but it might be a lower score than that.
Like my gag, unbelievable.
What do you actually give it out of
10? Yeah, it is that Hawaiian also is associated with Hawaiian pizza, and pineapple doesn't belong at 7.5 to kick off with.
Nicely done. Yes, that's the only thing wrong about Hawaii is the pizza.
Exactly.
But we're not going to get into that. So, a decent start nonetheless. Let's have a look and see. Let's have a look and see what people have put for their ratings. So let's go to the top immediately. So Gail Leary gives it an immediate 10 out of 10. So we're starting off strong. MaxJet TV Live doing his usual 10 out of 10. Carl Crawford with a 9. Other channel member Lynn Keeble with a 9. London Plane Spotting with an 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. Jim gives it a 9. Wayne gives it a 7. It's a nicely applied livery. I'll show Ian's one. 6 out of 10 plus an extra bonus point for Hawaiian ending in Ian.
You should have allowed him to sleep on now, I think.
Yeah. Michael Painter, I think it'd be too busy with anything else. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from T and Hartley. Amazing design. I love it, but not 10 because nothing's perfect. Very good. We're not talking about pineapple. No, we're not doing pineapple on pizza. That's a staple of the show, but we're not doing that. Not right now. Not right now. God, it's already started. And then Rob Brown with a 7. 7 out of 10 for that one. Decent start.
To begin with, thank you, everyone.
Very good start. Right. I imagine the savagery will probably start, not just yet, but it will do. Maybe 3 or 4 in. We know the running 100%. Order. They don't. One of them's got to, one of them's got to do it. Right, number 2 to start could split people, but we'll have a look. It is the, I think, rather classy Royal Jordanian livery shown here on A321. Steve, why'd you pick it?
Yeah, well, it won't liner as it does this, but if you go to Heathrow or whatever, it's just an Enro white aircraft. So to get something a little bit different is even in like the sunlight, even though it's a dark plane, it still looks really, really nice. It's quite classy. I like the line on it. The engine covers are nicely painted in the livery as well. And it's something a little bit different. And it, to me, it's quite classy. And now we fly into to Heathrow to see a black plane's a little bit of a novelty.
It's a livery that hasn't really changed much over the years as well. From the days of when they had like the TriStar and stuff, they used to have just like the white engines, and you can see sort of the white engine ones on the 787s and things like that. But again, because it hasn't changed so much, it's got that real sort of, I want to say it's almost like very typically Middle Eastern.
Yeah, it's quite sort of business jetty as well. It's sort of, it gives it a little.
It's very. There's lots of people saying about like it looking quite retro, although Ian has very nicely popped in to say that it looks like a cigarette packet. And then says, "I'll take the Daily Sport and 20 Royal Jordanian, please." Very good. Everyone's now going about cigarettes. Nice.
I'll save this and then we'll skip over it. It's a shame you never made my T-shirt that I made with that on it.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about that. That's not there. I don't get into trouble. But yeah, it's very sort of. I mean, you could mistake it for a business jet, as well. I don't know. Again, I think it's one of those that's quite timeless. I think, like if it was like 50 years time and they were still showing this livery off on God knows whatever aircraft come out in 50 years time, I still think it would fit into any sort of era, and I think that's quite rare to find nowadays. Obviously, American Airlines did it with the chrome livery before they changed it to the current one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It's very. I think that the way I describe it is it's very regal, as in it does kind of show like class. Like whereas if you've got like an all white plane sort of thing, it's like, oh, okay, well, another airline to go on sort of thing. But it almost feels like if you had this rocking up at your gate, you'd feel a bit sort of like special in a way.
Nicely different, and it's not pitch black as well. It's more of a kind of silver, if you like, rather than a real pitch black, if that makes sense. So it's lovely to see them come into Heathrow. You only get one a day or whatever, so you don't get fed up of them, that's for sure.
I think the best thing about Royal Jordanian is he is very potluck with what you get. Some days you get the 787, some day you get the 321 and things like that. So you never quite know what's going to actually turn up. But I mean, like I say, it's one of those again that's if you've got the sun on it, like this picture, it stands out like a sore thumb, but a good sore thumb.
Yeah, no, it's just class.
But,
it's just nice and different from the norm.
Yeah, gotta agree with that one. Right, okay. Have a think about what we're going to give it out of 10. Let's see what people put, apart from the fact that it looks like a cigarette packet and they're asking for a newspaper. Jim Gummel says it's classy. Gail Leary says it's stunning, although she's given a rating. I'll do that in a second. Jim also agreeing that it's got a bit of a corporal sort of jet look to it, or corporate, I should say, corporate jet look to it. Wayne Hartshorn says that he likes the livery a lot. I'll do the rating in a minute. Very classy and statement-like. A very quick one from Tian, saying that she changed a profile picture to a tap plane to blend in. P.S. It's the best livery. Very good. Carl Crawford with a very interesting choice and one that we are never ever going to see, but apparently it would look better on a 757. I'm now intrigued to see if someone's potentially mocked one up. Hang on. This is what I quite like about this type of show.
If not, there's always Marco.
Very true. That is not what I was thinking.
Yeah, Max Jets just said it would look good on a 350 as well. Yeah, look nice.
I think 350 I definitely agree with. I can't find a 757 mock-up. And ones I can find, they're not very good pictures. What a shame. Never mind. Of course, the old 747s wore this one as well. Obviously, had the white engines, not the sort of the black ones with the dark silver sort of satin black color. But even then, the 747, if you haven't seen a picture of the 747 in this livery, do look it up. It is quite a stunner. It is quite a stunner. But yeah, it's a definitely a good shout. Yeah, lots of people say Carl Crawford says an A380.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, Carl, to be honest. I think it looks better on the single deck plane, but I could be proved wrong, of course.
Well, I could be about to prove you wrong. Hang on.
Oh.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it, let me just compare. Hang on. Right, so here's obviously I can't find a 757, but I have found an A380 mock-up. albeit on flight sim.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about
that. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's not. Yeah,
it's not horrific, but it's. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think because of some adjustment.
I am torn between that. I think it does look a hell of a lot better on the 350 though. There are some, there's some flight sim stuff, but it's all very dark and it doesn't really show it off properly. But have a look anyway. Have a look on Google. Lots of people saying different sort of like 777s and stuff. You've all got Google. Use it. We'll do some more as the evening goes on. Right. So, Steve, with a lot of people, people don't like the A380 in that livery.
No.
Lynn Keeble says no. Michael Painter says no. Wayne Hartshorn says it looks stunning. Gail Leary says better with gold lettering on the A380. MaxJet TV says it looks rubbish. I think we've started off now. Jim Gilmore also says should have the cheat lines between the decks.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that looks all right as it is under the windows. It'd be too high up otherwise.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Just there's something about it I'm not sure about. I don't know. Potentially another show though. Concept liveries. Airline liveries in planes that never operated for them. I think that could work. Right. Anyway, that's enough of Royal Jordanian's London plane spot and also not agreeing with the 787. A380, I should say. So out of 10 then, Steve, what are we giving it?
Well, I was going to give it a 9, but it has the word Ian at the end of it, so it's an 8.
Yeah, I think having Ian at the end of it ruins it all.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, let's have a look and see what other people have put. Let's go through the comments here. So, Gail Leary gave it a 10 out of 10. MaxJet TV Live with his 10 out of 10 trademark. Lynn Keeble 9. Tian Hartley gives it a 7. Ian 8 out of 10 plus an extra bonus point for Jordanian ending in Ian. Oh dear, it's not gone well the first two.
No.
London plane spotting 7. Jim Gamble 9. Rob Brown 7.5 out of 10. Carl Crawford 9 out of 10. Your brother Martin gives it 7. Hello to you. Jack Rolls turning up. He's obviously smelt an APU and decided to turn up. Good to see.
Been cooking his dinner in the microwave since 7.
Yeah, that's it. Another 5 minutes, Jack. It'll be 40 minutes then. Carl Crawford does like it on the A380, though. He says, now seeing it on the 380, I would say 350. Oh, no, sorry. Now seeing it on the A380, I would say 350 is definitely better. 8.5 out of 10. So very, very good indeed. Right. Number 2 done. Now, I've got an interesting one, and I'm going to have to just bear with me because I've completely forgotten. I believe it's 4. Just bear with me. I should have done my research beforehand. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Think decent at the weekend. Drop it in the chat. What have you all spotted this weekend?
It's a good shout, actually. Yeah, question. Actually, two questions of the day. Anyone that's been spotting, what have you spotted this weekend? And one that I brought up yesterday, which I'd like some answers for, is what's your biggest aviation pet peeve? And we'll get on to that at the end of the show as well. I have many, and I mentioned them in the show yesterday when we did the flight from Copenhagen to Nice. I will mention them again. Rob Brown gave us a good mention as well. So, what's your biggest aviation pet peeve? And if you've been plane spotting this weekend, what have you seen? Get them in or read them out.
I'll answer for Jack. He got up at 4:30 a.m. to get a Ryanair that was arriving at midday.
Have a word, Jack, honestly. Honestly. Right, okay, so now I've got it. Okay, so number 3 then for us is an interesting one. There we go. I will just mention what it is. So it's painted up as OWG. Where is it? Which is part of the Nolinol Aviation Group, which is obviously based in Canada. They have a fleet type of 737-400s and just a single 737-800, which you can see on the screen now. Nolinol have been around for a while. They have a small fleet of 737s only, 7 737-200s, and again the rest are 1 300, 1 400, 3 400s, and again the single 800, which is on the screen. My first vibe that I get from this is that Alaska one that they've got. I forget the name of it as well. Somebody put it in the chat, please. You know what I'm on about, the Alaska one, the Alaska Airlines A321 they've got. What the hell is it? With More to Love. There you go. It's the More to Love livery. This is what it strikes to me is when I first saw it is that. But yeah, this is quite a nice livery as well with the striking red and blue. What made you pick this one?
It's one I'm going to know too well, and whilst it's not a massive airline, they've probably done the paint job. It's nice and vibrant. It's it's nice and colourful, and one you'd be pretty excited to see it. That's for sure. I like the really nice. It's a shame the red doesn't quite sort of blend into it, but other than that, I think it's a really nice aircraft, and if you ever did get the chance to see one, it would be a real to catch. And again, it's not your boring standard white aircraft with red or whatever with the red heart on the back. They've actually gone to a bit of a nice sort of brand to show off, despite the fact they're not exactly in the trade.
Yeah, it's an interesting one with this one. A little bit more history on OWG itself. It is an actual airline, but it's known as a Canadian virtual airline, which is quite interesting. So what a virtual airline is, it's not like a flight sim airline where you join in and things like that. Virtual airline is an airline that has outsourced as many possible operational and business functions as it can, but still maintains effective control of its core business. Such an airline focuses on operating a network of air services and outsourcing non-core activities. So OWG, or basically that's the abbreviation. The full name is Off We Go, which is quite interesting. Learn something new every day. It's almost like, so imagine like a low-cost airline, but this airline targets tropical destinations as well. So leisure and sort of southern destinations as well. So it's an interesting model. I mean, like I said, do have a look at it on, let's say, Google and things like that. Read up on it a bit more. It is quite interesting to read up on. The livery itself is very bold. Obviously, Nolinol themselves, they've got quite a few bold 737s, especially 200s as well. It's not often you see a 737-200 in the special livery nowadays, but there are a couple in a special livery. But yeah, so it is the airline history itself. Like if you do have a look at it, is quite interesting. But like I said, the first thing that struck me was literally the Alaska livery, because it's so familiar without the fade. But I can see, I'll say, anything with color on it is an absolute bonus. If it's not Euro white, then it's wonderful. So yeah, I do like this one, and I can see why you've picked it. I think there's definitely a split opinion, but we'll go for it. We'll We'll see what people have said about this one. If you have a quick think about what you'd give it out of 10. Jack Roll says, I generally thought that this was the aircraft that took Bournemouth to Brighton.
Why would they do that, Jack? So...
Yeah. It's a long trip from Canada just to go to... Yeah, hang on. Why would they? Why would anybody fly from Brighton to... I've just worked... Yeah, I don't understand that. Noob. Wayne Hartshorn says it looks like it flew head on into Rudolph. It's horrid. Oh, that's cruel. Oh, that's cruel. London Plane Spotting says it looks a bit like the Red Devil. So I think it's the Red Devil's. Yeah, I can sort of see it. I suppose color-wise, I think. Let's have a look and see what else.
They named it after me, Tom.
No. I've lost where I've got to now. Read it right. Yeah. So Gail Leary says it's bright, so she likes it. Lynn Keeble doesn't like it. Jack Rolls has given a rating for Bournemouth apparently, rather than giving a livery as well. But I'll do that in a second. London Plains Point says likes the red, but the blue's a little dark. A little too dark.
So I think the blue's quite classy on it.
I quite like the blue on it. I think the thing is, I think you want it to stand out as well. If you had like a sky blue, like that color of the sky there, I don't think it would have its desired effect. And obviously, it's supposed to almost be like a heart as well. So I think that's kind of also meant to kind of stand out as well. I do like the tail logo. I think that's quite cool. But yeah, other than that, I think that's kind of one of my favorite blues as well. So I think any like dark blue kind of works quite well. But I suppose it's to not to everybody's taste. But that's absolutely fine. Okay, interesting. Where have I got to? I've lost where I've got to again now. Flipping heck. Wayne Hartshorn, how many aircraft survived you this weekend, Tom? Yeah, we'll get on to that in a minute. We'll get on to the flight sim in a minute. Where else are we going? Ian doesn't like it. Says it's minging. Red on blue is not a good look in his opinion. Lynn Keeble says it looks like it's had paint thrown over it. London Plane Spotting again. Looks like they dipped the nose in red. MaxJet TV Live is apparently now turned into a girl, saying I give it the New England Patriots livery. Jim Gemmell, OMG, more like.
Yeah.
And like I say, lots of people with lots of oh God's sake. Jim Gemmell, Tom landed this one. That's all the gore all over the nose. Thank you. I don't land those first, thank you. Yeah, fair enough. Lots of other comments in there as well. Right, out of 10 then, Steve, what do you give
it? I'm going to give it, again, it's probably not my best choice, and it's debatably not my worst choice, so we'll give it 7.
Was that 7?
Yeah.
7. Yeah, that's fair enough. 7 out of 10. I think that's quite solid for that. I'd probably go along the lines of 7 or 7.5, I think. Right. So yeah, Gail Leary, 8 out of 10. Jack Rolls is given 5 out of 10 for Bournemouth, but an 8 out of 10 for the livery. Loves it. I mean, yeah, Bournemouth flew from Bournemouth to Brighton. Apparently. Carl Crawford giving it 3 out of 10. Lynn Keeble, 3 out of 10. Ian Hartley gives it 6 out of 10. Just think it looks too blocky. Keep going. Ian gives it a 1 out of 10 as it does not end in Ian. Oh dear. Michael Painter 5 out of 10 on the fence. Jim 4 out of 10. London Planeswalker 5 out of 10. MaxJet TV Live constantly changing his profile picture at the moment. 10 out of 10. Carl Crawford 3 out of 10, and I think Wayne's given it a 2. All right, nice one. Okay, one that I think is probably going to divide opinion yet again as we move on to number 4. We've got 6 to go right now. Here is number 4. One of the liveries that's really warmed up to me recently. It is, of course, the new, I say brand new, but it's not brand new anymore. The new Aer Lingus livery. A lot of people will be torn about this one, I think, because I think a lot of people, like myself, originally preferred the older one. But Steve, why'd you pick this one?
Go away from a traditional livery to a Euro white. This for me is it properly. Like, it's done with class. It's kept the essence of what they're about. Like the I destroyed it. They ripped the soul out of it when they changed that. Whereas this one, they've still kept the it's a nice shade of green with the light green stripe, and I just think it looks cool and fresh. And it's definitely how to update your livery, but do it well for me, and really well as well.
Yeah, I was very skeptical when I heard about it. I was thinking to myself, I kind of don't want them to change it. I think it looks good as it is. And I still maintain that fact. I still prefer the older one at the time to this. But the more I kind of see it, and especially on the 320 Neos now that go into Heathrow as well. And the more I see it in like sunshine, obviously this is a flight sim picture, but the more I see it in like the sunshine, the more I think it actually looks really nice. And again, it's one of those things where they've kept the original colors as well, because obviously that darker green was running along the cheat line sort of thing. Kept the tail almost as it is, and it's I like it, and it looks good on, let's say, 321s, 330s, things like that. So
yeah, see, I thought
they better on smaller ones.
The old green one was all right, but it was beginning to look properly dated. Something really well having these.
Well, I think that the one before, I think, had only been around for just over 20 odd years, I think. So it's obviously gone down the route of obviously tightening the old purse strings and banging out the Euro white like everybody else. And like Jim says,
this is how to do Euro white properly, though.
Yeah, like Jim says, like took the Qantas livery, like everyone else is doing at the minute, taking the Qantas livery and changing it to green.
Yeah.
But I think certain variations work. So depending on what you've got, it I think that there's certain colours, like for example, take the Iberia livery, for example, right? Absolute classic what they had before. And then they change it to kind of like this, because obviously Aer Lingus and Iberia are part of the IAG group. So obviously everyone gets the same sort of treatment. And it's very boring, because you're taking the red and the yellow from Iberia and creating a brand new livery, but making it like boring as boring AF sort of thing. Whereas like there are certain greens, a bit like with the Dreamliner with the special liveries and stuff. There are certain liveries that don't work, and there are certain colours that don't particularly work with this style of livery. But I think this does. I think this is wonderful. And let's say on the Neo as well, which we had on the flight sim, and only had it on the flight sim, and now we've got it in real life as well. It's lovely, and the more you see it, like London Planespotting said, the more you see it, the more you kind of warm up to it. And I do quite like it, so I'm happy to kind of see it around now.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just decent, and to keep you can spell the word Ian out of Aer Lingus.
Mm. Yeah, it's lovely now. So it is. Right. Right. Let's have a think. We'll go through what people think of this one. Yeah, like I said, London plane spotting. The more I see it, the more I like it. But I do like the old one, he says. I think it's like nostalgia for the old one, I think. Ian Hartley says it's Euro white livery done right. Good shout. London plane spotting again. I think it looks better on the smaller jets rather than the A330. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely see where they're coming from on that, but I think it works. You're right. On the 320 and the 321, it probably does look better.
Jack Rolls says it's kind of on par with Tap, but I think Tap just nips it. I think he's supposed to put just nicks it. Sorry, Ian, he says. Gail Leary. Nice green. Think it could do with a bit extra. What would you have it running down like the sort of like as a underbelly sort of thing as well? Would you carry it on from like the underbelly if you were to add it extra?
Yeah, I don't know. I quite like it as it is. Mind.
Yeah. MaxJet TV Live. I think it could add the rugby team on the livery. Well, the one that he did have has now been repainted into this livery, so I don't think they'll be doing that again for a while. Jack Rolls was one of his like Steve Irwin type things, where it's like, crikey, the fact Bristol Bristol get the ATR and Southampton is exactly why I got to get to one of those places. Black box, mate, black box. You ain't going nowhere without it. Again, he's put the Neo livery that goes into Heathrow Airport is just no words can express how much I want to catch it. Black box. Yeah, lots of people also saying that they prefer the old livery. Jack with a nice little super chat as well. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Just a little something, as I always support you. Much appreciated. Thank you. Could have used that as becoming a member, but just saying. No, thank you. Much appreciated. And lots of people saying it looks nice on the ATRs as well. Right, rating then. Let's take this off screen. Out of 10, the Aer Lingus livery. Steve, what do you give
it? Yeah, I like it. 8.5.
8.5 out of 10. I think I'd go for a strong 9. I think I do quite like it, but 8.5 out of 10. Ian Hartley, Jack is a noob. 2 out of 10 for Jack's opinion.
Yeah.
Now, just because you got woken up. Now. Right, let's have a look. See what people have put as the rating. Lots of people with 10s. Jack with a 10. Max with a 10. Michael Painter with a 7 out of 10. Then London Plane Spotting with an 8 out of 10. Gail with a 7. Lynn Keeble with a 4.
Ooh.
That is harsh.
That's like a dagger.
Yeah. MaxJet TV Live with a 9th of March. Don't believe me. There it is. 9th of March. Carl Crawford says, looks amazing on the A330. Possibly needs a touch of orange. 8.5 out of 10.
No.
I don't know, where would the orange come into it?
Yeah.
It's a yeah. Let us know. Let us know where the orange would come into it. Tian Hartley, 7 out of 10. I like the cartoony design. I'm assuming we're still looking at the same one. Jim Gemmell, 7 out of 10. Ian with a 7 out of 10 for the plane. David Bone, good to see you popping in. Oh, the Irish flag. Oh, okay, yeah. Carl Crawford said the orange for the Irish flag. 9th of October for Aer Lingus, says David Bone. Good stuff. 5 out of 10 for Wayne Hartshorn as well. Good stuff. Righty ho. Not been too savage yet. I fear it's about to get quite savage. It's an airline we've not had yet. Yeah. we'll see after this one. Yeah, so it's an airline we've not yet had on the Rate My Liveries, so we'll see how well this goes down. It's from, well, it could be anywhere in Asia. They've got plenty of bases and plenty of divisional airlines. It is, of course, Jetstar, which is for me quite an interesting pick. I thought you'd have gone for the sort of the new ones they got in the 321 Neos, but you've gone for the older version of the Jetstar livery. Tell us why.
I'm a big fan of aircraft in silver. I think it looks quite classy, and it's up with a splash of colour and whatever. And I think it just is a classy aircraft. Thought that with the sun in the right position, it would look absolutely amazing. And yeah, it wears it really, really well. And yeah, it's just aircraft that.
Carl Crawford, one of the comments of the night. It's a VIP EasyJet. Yeah, it's. I mean, to be honest, it's not one I would pick. Not saying I don't like it. It's one I didn't actually think I'd see personally on the Rate My Liveries channels. But I suppose anything that's not Euro white is all right for me. So
yeah,
so I'll take it.
And the silver's a different jet too as well. It's a bit more subtle, and it's, I don't know, it's a lot closer, for example.
I think London Planesbottom agrees there. Like Jet 2 silver grey livery, but don't like that. Don't like the orange.
Yeah, well,
probably a bit too bright for the orange, maybe.
You're allowed to be wrong.
That's why they're called opinions.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. Ian Hartley, I think he's on one tonight. He says, "I like Jetstar. Looks like a cheap petrol station sign. £1.40 a litre. Fill her up, Gov." Oh dear, dearie me. I see what you mean though about petrol station signs. Jetstar.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Right. Let's have a look and see what everyone else has put. Just have a think out of 10 what you would give it. Gail Leary is a big fan of it. David Bone says there's a hint of old school American Airlines there.
Yeah, I suppose you got it.
Possibly with like the chrome sort of look, I guess. Martin Wooldridge says best one yet. Jack,
what a good lad.
Jack says that's a very clean livery. T and Hartley says reminds me of the first episode of Apprentice if their task was to design a livery for a plane.
Oof.
I don't know if that is that harsh. I don't watch The Apprentice, so would that be harsh?
Yeah, it would be a hard sacking though if they came up with that. You wouldn't be sending anyone home.
Jack Roll says the chrome silver looks decent. And then lots of people giving their ratings. Last one, Wayne Hartshawn, looks like an EasyJet that flew into a Jet 2 hangar during repaint.
Wow.
Oh dear, you lot. Right, out of 10 then, Steve, what are you giving this one?
Yeah, I'm going to head up with a 9. I like this.
9 out of 10. Okay, nice. So I like the orange. I think the silver's okay. I think their newer one is better as well. But then, like I said, like color for me is important in a livery. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Let's see what other people give it. Gail Leary, 10 out of 10. Rob Brown, 4-star out of 10. It's split the crowd, honestly. London Planesbottom, 3.8 out of 10. Carl Crawford, 5. Going back up. with 8.5 out of 10. I think it's nice. Black and orange go well together. It's silver and orange, but I think they go quite well together. Lynn Keeble, 6 out of 10. Wayne Hartshorn with a 2.
Oh,
2 out of 10. 6th of December for David Bone. And Jim Gemmell's gone the extra mile with 6 out of 10.
Go.
And done it in star version. You hard worker, you. Right. Excellent. On to... Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. I've been scrolling up the chat then. Right, on to the next one, which be a nice little nostalgia trip for a lot of people. And then it'd be down to whether people would enjoy... I think there'll be a lot of love for this one. Be interesting to see if no one does.
Yeah.
It is this one. It's the last Monarch livery before they left the skies. What are we saying, Steve?
Yeah, no. Well, obviously we know what happened to Monarch, and it's a real. I remember some Gatwick diverts into Bournemouth once, and seeing, and the photo doesn't show it too well, but it's got like a beautiful purple colour into the yellow tail with the purpley crown. I just think they look absolutely, even the writing and that, and yeah, it's a proper devastation that they're not around. There are aircraft really, really well. So yeah,
Yeah, it was a real shame that Monarch sort of left the skies and stuff. They've been around for a while. It's kind of one of those. I don't want to say it's on the same level as Pan Am. I think that's a bit too much, but I think the logo of the M that's obviously shaped like a crown is kind of synonymous with a lot of avgeeks and things like that. And I caught photos of it, of like I think the A300, 330s and stuff like that. I got photos. Christ knows where they are. But never videoed them. And obviously some of the A321s that went to Thomas Cook, which were in the Monarch livery, obviously didn't have the best of times after Thomas Cook obviously went bust as well. But I've got a video on my phone of the hybrid, but that's about it really, because my camera died before it came in. So I was a little bit gutted about that. But I think it says everything it needs to, obviously, with them being like a leisure charter airline sort of thing, obviously off to sunnier destinations like Lanzarote and things like that. The yellow and blue kind of go well together, and I think it kind of resembles what they're after as well. Even back in their old days with like the Bristol Britannia and things like that, they've always been a very colourful airline. So,
yeah, expecting Ryanair or EasyJet, it was just a much classier airline, like Jets and Ryanairs and that, but especially down my way, a Monarch was quite a rare end. So I say it's a disappointment that the looking aircraft's not with us anymore.
And I think we've seen it recently with the likes of Flybe, with the resurrection of them, and obviously them going under again. I think this is one of those ones where it's like, I'm quite glad they left it alone to not try and redo it again, because I think it would then kind of ruin what the original airline would have had. So the fact that they've left it alone is, I suppose, in a way good. But everyone saw the videos and things like that. Same with like Thomas Cook and that the staff and crew and everyone else like finding out that their jobs would be lost and things like that. Like, it is utterly heartbreaking, and I think it hits more when it's from your own country. I think if it's an airline from your own country that's quite well known, it is it hits a little harder. I think it's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just, yeah, when you saw them taken off. Like the underneath of them blended into the yellow looks superb.
Yeah, they've always had some nice liveries as well. Quite bold to go for the yellow tail as well. I think the white tail they had was quite nice, but this definitely works. Right, okay, cool. Let's go through the chat. Have a think, Steve, and we'll go through the chat and see what people think. Jack Rolls says, "Don't make me cry, Steve. I only seen that once. Black box, mate. Black box. I've told you. Black box. If you took the black box off, you'd be able to go further than just outside your house." just saying. London plane spotting reminds him of the 90s. What a time to be alive for aviation in the 90s, early 2000s. Great time to be alive. Tian Hartley reminds me of back in day. 8 out of 10. How long ago would that be then? Back in the day. Let us know. Gail Leary says, I knew it'd be Monarch Crown. I knew it would be Monarch Crown was the best. London Plane Spotting says he loves it. Michael Painter says, nice shot at Lanzarote. So definitely a place I want to kind of visit just for that scenery alone. David Bones says, love it. Monarch were a fine company. Rob Brown, like this one. The old livery was pretty good too. Problem was it kind of clashed with Thomas Cook livery.
I don't see that too much.
Yeah, maybe an elaboration, possibly. I don't think it did really. Apart from maybe the cutting down of that dark blue being a yellow on the, I don't know. Not sure. Gail Leary says my favorite airline that was alongside Britannia. Another name from the past. Jim Gemmell says has a hint of the Boeing house livery with the blue. I can see that actually now that it's been mentioned. I can definitely see that, like the Dreamliner sort of type livery. I can see that. Gail Leary's got a fantastic picture of Monarch at Luton. She'll find it and share it. Do share it onto the community page. Jack Rolls. I just wish I got into aviation sooner because this sometime more than. Hang on, I think he's been on the side again. It's either that or it's me. I just wish I got into aviation sooner because this sometime more of than ever. If there was Gatwick diverts, this would be one. Black box, mate. Black box and stop drinking. I told you that. London Plane Spotting says, why do I always think of the Yorkshire Airlines comedy clip of Hale and Pace? I know what you're on about. I didn't want to say anything, but I know exactly what you're on about. Lots of comments coming in about Monarch. Obviously, well loved. Rob Brown says that they stored 2 of the aircraft at Prestwick after they went bust. Got some nice pics of them on the ground. Matchjet TV Live, did Monarch go into Newquay? I don't think they did. David Bones says that livery looked fantastic on the 757. Do you know what? It did. It did with the white tail. Looked fantastic. Looks quite nice on the 737 as well. The only one they had. Because I think they had an order for 737 Maxes as well. I'm sure they did before that got taken off. Wayne Hartshawn. I'm starting to wish I'd never mentioned this story now from last week. No electric boxes this week. No, afraid not. Afraid not. I've not been near any. But I'm off to Heathrow next week, so I'll take a picture of one for you and send it to you on Facebook. Jack is saying that Steve's got a very good taste of liveries.
I'm right.
Ian says, first time Tian came spotting at Manchester with me was just before they went under. Jack's saying, first choice is one I wished that I could have had. Good almighty, there's so many have. First choice is one I wished that I could have had the chance to catch. I'm just going to do this one more time. Hang on. Black box, mate. Take the black box off. You could go anywhere. The world's your oyster. Shocking answer to Wayne. Yeah, honest God, you lot. It's the last time I mentioned anything about electrical boxes. Never speaking of BA38 ever again. Right, out of 10 then, Steve. Monarch's livery.
I'm going to hit it high and go for a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
9 out of 10. I think that's quite fair. I think a lot of people will give it a lot of love. New lot. Lynn Keeble with a 5 out of 10.
Oh,
that is harsh. It's another dagger. This time
One
to the
out.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Rolls, 10 out of 10. Old but loved and still missed airline. Michael Painter says, Monarch have always had pleasing liveries like this, 9 out of 10. Then we got Rob Brown with 8 out of 10. London Plane Spotting with a 9. Jim Gemmell with an 8 out of 10. Gail with a 10. Wayne Hartshorn, 6.5 out of 10. Now that is terrible. Some would say shocking. Ian Hartley, 9 out of 10 looks really, really cool.
I feel like I'm not upsetting enough people here tonight.
I know. Well, you might do at the end. So there's one in particular that's going to upset someone. But in fact, maybe the last two might upset someone. Actually, no, tell a lie. There's a third one as well, but that's probably for another reason. But I've planned to do that, so we'll do that in a minute. Right, onwards. We've got 4 to go. And then we've got some announcements and everything else to do. So coming up next is one of my personal favorites, literally right now. So I'm so glad we're going to get a chance to talk about it. Steve's very own picture of the Air Canada Raccoon livery. Of course, a variation of their old livery from the 90s with a nice black underbelly, or I think as most people saw it, it's like a dark green for the old version, but I think this is a pure black color this time round. Super excited when I heard about this was going to become their new livery, because it was a real throwback to sort of the early 90s and the sort of mid 90s, sort of early 2000s, when they had it originally as the livery with the red title writing and things like that, before they changed it to the mint blue one. Steve, obviously, being your picture, and obviously you'd have seen this one, tell us why you picked it.
I picked this to promote my Instagram page, so cheers, Tom.
Steve _planes if anyone wants to follow him.
The mint blue one, mint green, whatever you want. It's not a bad looking aircraft, but this for me is really nice. And I'd cockpit on it. Right enough, I could have gone for like a Swiss 220 with the same. The whole, like the rest of it, the dark tail, the dark underneath, and the white body it's in. They've properly done well. They've gone away from like the minty blue, which it wasn't dreadful, but it didn't get you too excited. But whenever you see 107 or a Dreamline or whatever, it's always an exciting piece. And yeah, just a really, really big fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, they call it, obviously, I think they call it the Raccoon livery because of the mask at the front. I'd go for the Zorro because, like, you see the A220 and the 320 Neos and stuff like that have all, even though like the 330 Neos have all got that mask looking thing at the front, sort of, you know, sort of around the cockpit windows there. So I always go for Zorro because it's a mask, isn't it? But I think it adds something different to the delivery itself. And like I said, enormous fan when I knew this was coming back, because this was sort of my favorite. I've got plenty of models like A340s and 747s and stuff of it in this livery, and it's wonderful. And like I said, I got so excited when I read the news that they were bringing this back and ditching the the ice blue one. The ice blue one was very controversial at the time, and I think I liked it to begin with, but then it got quite stale very, very quickly. So this to me, I'm always on the lookout for these liveries, and I've seen it on the 787 and 777s and stuff, and it looks fantastic. So yeah, huge fan of this. Huge fan of this.
If anything, slightly better on the Dreamliner, but yeah, it's still working it very, very nicely on that.
777, can't go wrong with a 777. Absolutely not. Right, have a think. What you want to give this one? I'm going to have a look in the chat, see what people think. Okay. Ian Hartley says it's a class livery. Gail says, yes, I like. Looks like a superhero. Rob Brown says, like this, especially detailing around the cockpit. Still miss the old livery, though. Fond memories of Air Canada 747s back in the day as a kid. I'd like them to bring back the 80s livery as a retro with the red sort of. It's almost like a red version of this. I'd like them to bring that back as a retro. I have tweeted them many times, but they haven't got back to me. Not that I'd have any say in it, but it's nice to put a suggestion forward. Jim Gemmell says, doesn't look like minty toothpaste. Martin Wooldridge says, can get an Ian out of Air Canada. We're just seeing how many airline names you can actually make names out of.
Yeah.
Michael Painter says, I prefer this to the mint livery, which I disliked, but wish they'd gone back to an updated 1980s red livery. See, this is why I'm saying, like, tweet Air Canada or message them on any social media and be like, give us this. This is what we want to see. Jack Rolls, I don't know if he's lying or not, but he says, oh, shoot, I boiled some spaghetti 17 minutes ago. If you're boiling spaghetti and it takes you 17 minutes to do it, there is something seriously wrong with you. And I also hope you put salt and pepper in as seasoning. Otherwise, it's going to be bland as, but you get the idea. Darren Smith, good to see you.
Jack,
go on.
I was going to say, Jack is the reason they have to tell you not. He really is.
Jack's the reason why you see fire adverts on the telly as to what to do when it goes off.
Yeah.
Darren Smith, good to see you. He says, designed by the same company that did the Delta livery, and you can tell. I can't knock this, though. Can't knock this livery at all. I'm a big fan of Air Canada. Okay, interesting. Rob Brown, do Air Canada not have a 777 in white with the maple leaf and a faded grey on the tail? If anyone knows what he's on about, not to say that he's lying, but if anyone, I've not seen anything like that, unless it's a new 777 that they've got. Somebody please send me a picture via Twitter or Facebook, please, and then let me know that you've done it so I can show it off. Because I don't think a 777 in white with the maple leaf and a faded grey on the tail. I'm intrigued. Everyone having a go about Jack's spaghetti cooking skills. Some well done spaghetti coming up. Darren says spaghetti mash. I feel like there's a t-shirt coming on here. Jack Rose, it's more than burnt. It's like looking at the universe. Did you even put water in it? That would be my suggestion. If you've got severely burnt spaghetti, that tells me you didn't put water in it. Oh, it's like Kay's cooking, trying to cook rice without actually cooking it first and put just dry, raw ice into a mixture of stuff. It's bloody hell, Jack. Keep the black box on. Don't go anywhere. Christ almighty. Right. Anyway, let's. Damn you, Jack, getting us onto food already. Wayne Hartshorn says, Jack, the smoke alarm's gone means that your spaghetti is done. It's more than done. It's in raw. Oh dear, I don't know. Oh, I feel like we could do this for the rest of the show. Darren Smith, does he put salad in the oven? Oh, I like it. Brilliant. Keep them coming, actually. Just insult Jack and his cooking culinary skills while we go through this one. Right, out of 10, Steve. What should we... Back to the plane, obviously. What out of 10, what do we give it?
This one out the top drawer and give it 9.5.
9.5 out of 10. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Rob has sent me a picture. Oh, that's a nice one there. Right, 2 seconds. Let's have a look. Because I'm intrigued. Oh, I know what he's on about. Okay, so he sent me a picture of A319, but I know what he's on about now. So the red, yeah, okay, I know what you're on about. It's the red maple leaf.
Yeah.
Right, I'll take you off screen, Steve. Yeah, I know what he's on about. It's the red maple leaf, basically, that's disappeared, which is yeah, I know what you're on about. Forget Dooley's Delight. Oh, we don't talk about that, Jack, anymore, because otherwise we'll get told off for having too much fun. So we don't talk about that, anything else now. Carl Crawford. In fact, let's just do it. Let's just keep coming up with food while Steve's disappeared quickly. The amount Jack Burns could build a house. I'm intrigued to know if you've put water in a pan and then put spaghetti in and seasoned it. Because it sounds like to me you've just put spaghetti into a pan and gone, well, what's happening to it? Why aren't you cooking? And then you've left it for 17 minutes and it's burnt to a crisp. Goodness me. Wayne Hartshorn, my mum said to me once my child could burn jelly. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh no, Jack. You put water in, it just shriveled up. Make of that what you will, ladies and gentlemen. Jack. What do you mean it shriveled? Was it even spaghetti? If it's shriveled, spaghetti doesn't shrivel. Can Jack... I don't like how this has turned out all of a sudden. Oh no, wrong one. There you go. Can Jack come over to my... No, absolutely not. Absolutely not of his cooking skills. Talking of shriveling, Jim says he ain't on about the spaghetti. Oh, dearie me, what has it become? Jack put the gas on to 10. Jack, your cooking skills hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack. You're not the guy behind the Cooking with Jack show on YouTube by any chance, are you? For God's sake. Jack trying to... Yeah, tell him super noodles doesn't count. Shouldn't be burning anything. Come on. Right. Anyway, planes, by the way. We're going to go back to some more planes.
Is your mum Mrs. Cropley, Jack, from Vicar of Dibley, if anyone remembers that show?
Oh, that's me never cooking again. Oh, do you know what? Should we tell him the story when he sent us in the group chat the picture of his cooked pizza? Sorry, cooked pizza. Do you know what, the sad thing is, I don't think I have it anymore, which I'm gutted.
What did he? Yeah. What did he call the? Was it the ice cream van? Oh, Mr. Whip.
Oh yeah, 2 stories. All right, before we go on to the last few, right? 2 stories that we'll tell you just very quickly about Jack. We love Jack, but he's nuts at the same time. So Jack's been talking about doing a trip to Bristol Airport, and he said to me, "Oh, when I go to Bristol, I'll let you know." I said, "You let me know when you get your black box off, and we'll work something out." And then just randomly, out of nowhere, Jack went, "The one thing I quite like about Bristol Airport is they have a Mr. Willy van." It's Mr. Whippy. But Jack called it Mr. Willy, and so we've never let that go. Mind you, nor did Jack. That's why I got told off for it. But there was that. So Jack called Mr. Whippy Mr. Willy and blamed it on autocorrect. And the other story that we'll tell you is, do you know what? Ian, you're a legend. Ian, you're a legend. Right, hold on. Because this will go well. So me and Ian were playing Flight Simulator. We were doing I think we were doing a DC-3 flight. I think it was. We were just mucking about in the sky. Everyone's laughing in the chat. Jack called it Mr. Willy. Me and Ian were doing a group flight. We were doing DC-3 flight in Scotland, and Jack was talking about how he was cooking a pizza. He sent us a picture. No, I thought, oh, I don't have the picture, so I can't show anybody. Ian has now popped up. Mr. Mr. Willy doesn't exist. Like, it's not a thing. But Ian has popped up and put a delightful picture of Jack's, and I'm going to do this in the biggest air quotes possible, cooked pizza. I'd like to take people's opinions. Me and Steve, we're going to stay quiet for a minute. In fact, I may even take us off screen for a minute, just so people can absorb how undercooked this is.
Tom, can we in the chat put their ratings out of 10 for it, please?
Yes,
that can be my next
absolutely.
choice.
Absolutely. Right, here we go. So this is Rate My Cooking. Tonight's speciality is Jack's cooked pizza, which I don't think even touched the flame. Right, here we go. Oh, Jack, man. Oh, the worst thing is I can't zoom in on it. Right. So if you're watching on a phone, apologies. Right. That's a sad looking pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sad looking pizza, Jack. And before anyone asks,
if you listen quietly, you can hear the whole of Italy crying.
Oh, mamma mia! Holy crap! Yeah. Before anyone asks, no, there's no pineapple on it. I think the pineapple was too scared to sit on it, if I'm honest. I can't. Jack, dude. I mean, we like I said, we love Jack. This is not a bullying Jack thing. We love Jack. Jack knows Jack can take a laugh. He's not a snowflake. But it's a sad looking pizza. This literally broke my heart when I saw it. I was like, oh, Jack, it's not cooked. Like, don't tell me that's cooked, Jack, because it's not. Oh, no, where is it gone? There it is. London plane spotting energy saving pizza.
Yeah.
Rob Brown, put it back in the box and resell it as frozen pizza. Oh God. Oh, okay. Do you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling a brand new feature for these type of shows, which is like bad dishes. Oh, just like if you want to show off your bad cooking skills, like this would be the perfect place for it. Oh, God. Jack, I thought it was droopy. It's probably still solid, mate, 'cause it's still probably frozen. Oh, God. Oh, this is Jack.
We do love you, though.
We do. Yeah, we love you, Jack. Oh, man. Ian, you're a legend for sending that. I didn't think we'd have that. Oh, no. Right. I think Jack should get his own like segment, I think. Rather than like Dooley's Delights, it's like, I don't know, rolls his appetites or something like that. Jack just send us a picture of what he's cooked. In fact, no, Jack, if you've still got that spaghetti, please send me a picture of it. I want to see the spaghetti.
I think you should call.
Go again.
You should call it "Runs with Rock." He's going to give you every time you eat his dinner.
Oh, what's this? Is that what Ian, mate? Is that what? Oh, Ian. Okay, last one, I promise, and then we'll actually get on to the. Oh, Jack, that looks so anemic. Oh, Jack, that looks okay. Apologies, everyone. We will get back to the. We'll get back to the planes in a minute. Oh no! I mean, Jack, it's not. I mean, it's not burnt, but there's no way it's cooked. Oh no, Jack! Jack, it looks so anemic. Honestly,
Jack, where's everything else to? Where's your like your meat and your sauce and that? Are you just having a spaghetti?
I've got it. Jim Gemmell. The What Has Jack Done This Week segment. Oh. New feature for 2023. Oh, Jack. There's no sauce or nothing with it.
I tell you what, for people who've never seen or met Jack, he's a real skinny lad. Must fall out of his ass every morning after he's had dinner.
What do you plan on doing with it? Floss with it? Oh. Oh, no. I mean, Jack, that... Right. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, right. Here's... Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about this. Okay. So Ian has sent us his version. We could do this all night if everyone's happy to talk about like food. Jack, mate. I mean, there's no seasoning with it either. That's what scares me. There's no seasoning. Right. We've got 3 more liveries to do afterwards. We'll definitely get back to them. So we've. Ian says Jack has upset every Italian on the planet. He will wake up with a horse's head in the morning.
Which he'll promptly undercook.
Oh, dear. Right, Jack, that's enough for you because it's Ian's turn now. Ian has sent us his delights. He's also sent us a before and after shot. I don't know how to feel about the after shot. I really don't. Here's what he was doing. Okay. Standard, typical pizza baguette, right? You can buy them in boxes, right? Oh, Ian. Oh, God. Right, here we go. Before. After. Oh, no.
Could have used it.
Oh, God. But you know what? At least it's got more colour than this. Oh, God.
I don't think I've got any photos of mine, sadly.
Oh, do you know what? I'm absolutely gutted that there's announcement, by the way, there's no show next week because I am in London. But I mean, I have to make these podcasts like so much longer because I feel like this needs to be a segment. This totally needs to be a segment now. Oh, geez. Link Keeble, one extreme to the other. I mean, oh, look at it.
I'd rather eat burnt than raw.
Okay, so what would you eat out of this? Right? So we've got this, which is it's got colour to it and it's pretty much overdone. Or would you do straight out of the box pizza? Oh God, it's Darren Smith. Ian, you'll have to answer this one. He says, "Did you eat it? Did you eat the?" Oh dear. All right. Here's what we'll do. Okay. Here's what we'll do. I will call it. What did he? I want to take a picture actually for future reference. Where is it? There we go. Let me take a picture because I will forget the name of it. Okay. So if you want to see a segment at the end of each show where we do what has Jack done this week, where he shows off some of his cooking stuff, I want to see what emoji shall I put. Let's go for. I'll tell you, let's go love hearts, right? I want love hearts in the chat if you want to see the new segment of what has Jack done this week. Ian didn't eat it. He says, absolutely not. The picture doesn't do it any justice. The base was black. Oh, no. All right, love hearts in the chat if you want to see Jack get his own segment on the show, please.
Well, I got my food, so I can't show you my cooking skills, I'm afraid.
I did have a wonderful picture of Angel Delight, which ended up everywhere, but that's about it. Lots of people were putting so many love hearts in the chat. So I think we'll do that for next week. I'll get a graphic. For the week after. We'll do it at the end of the end of the show in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, Jack's. Oh, they're all. Oh, okay. So we got two. We got two very good names here. I may do a community poll on YouTube, maybe on Facebook as well, and see what comes up. Right, let's get back to some more ratings. Let's get these ones out of the way. So, time to upset someone. Queen of the Skies, the A330.
Yeah, good old Queen of the Skies.
Good old Queen of the Skies. So, Air Transat, obviously Canadian airline. I think this one's been brought up a couple of times. What makes you pick this one?
Everything from the wings forward. It's all about that blue on the tail. It's sensational. What a gorgeous colour of blue that is, and the way it's catching the light and darker at a stunning tail on it. Like the rest of it, I'm absolutely amazing.
So I've got to mention this because Ian's put it in the chat. May I mention that Steve uses a knife and fork to eat pizza?
You may, because I'm house trained. Yeah, not like you. Dinner's there to be savoured, not just ploughed down in one hit.
Oh God, wonderful. Well, I don't know how food has suddenly become a massive staple to this show, but I love the fact it is now. Oh, wonderful. Right.
Yeah,
anyway,
nice fork for napkin in. Yeah, no, honestly, if that blue was across the entire plane, that's the sexiest livery in the world. But just the tail, that's all I'm judging it on.
Yeah, it's got that almost. I don't know if it's a proper metallic look. I don't think it is. It's kind of like almost like a fake sort of fade. But it's I do like it. Again, it's a very Qantas-esque look, but it's pretty smart. It maintains what Air Transat have been over the last so many years as well. And again, it's a splash of colour as well, which helps out a lot. By the way, Darren Smith has just guessed what Jack uses to eat his pizza. He says hammer and chisel. But yes, London plane spotting. Like the colour, but wish the blue covered maybe. Sorry, I'll go again. Like the colour, but wished the blue covered more, maybe up to the wing. So a bit like what their old language livery was.
Massively,
I could kind of see it, actually. Yeah, I can sort of see it. I'll tell you what, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'd prefer that, if I'm honest. A little bit more blue on the fuselage, maybe.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with either or. So I guess that's obviously a good thing, to do that. Yeah, I do like the blue though. The blue is very striking. Right, Steve, have a think out of 10. So what we got? We got Jack saying between this livery and the language one, it's a proper livery, and that it's slapped on a Queen of the Skies. It shows how far the A330 has come. Max is liking the colour. Darren Smith says it has Air Transat under the fuselage in case it gets lost. Carl Crawford. The silver needs to go up the tail more.
I don't think so, personally.
It's one of those ones where either could or it don't. I think it's fine as it is, if I'm honest. But I think even with the grey, it'd have to be quite a darker grey than it already is. I think that'd be my sort of suggestion.
I just think it's classy, the silver into that blue. More of it. That's my criticism.
Okay. Right. Okay. So let's have a look and see what people have put in the chat in terms of the rating. But Steve, out of 10, what would you give it?
A generous 7.
7 out of 10. I think that's sort of about right, I would say. Lynn Keeble gives it an 8 out of 10. Rob Brown goes for a 6. London plane spotting with a 7.5. Jim Gemmell says very Qantas, but liking the blue, 8 out of 10. Jack rolls with a 10. Darren Smith, no cheat lines, so don't like it. I'm very 1980s. I think I'm pretty much the same, even though I wasn't born then. But I'm very much a sucker for cheat lines. Carl Crawford, 7.5 out of 10. Ian, 8 out of 10. Everyone going for 330 out of 10. I go for Queen of the Skies and say no more. Rob Brown, Air Transat bonus point for longest glide in a commercial aircraft. Spoke about it last week. Martin Wooldridge, 8 out of 10, same as the Air Canada. Very nice. Right, 2 to go. So we'll try and get through these ones and spend a little bit more time on the last one. One that might divide opinion. The current Southwest Airlines livery, which is here on, again, a flight sim picture, but it's 737-800. First and foremost, I like it. I think it's a lot better than what they had before. Again, it's colour, so you can't go wrong with that. But Steve, why'd you pick it?
Here. Last week, I went to London on the train and back from Bournemouth, which is about 60 miles quid return. And in the good old days, Southwest trains used to have this exact, and they've now got this terrible grey and green livery in it, and it's so I've picked Southwest in defiance against Southwest trains for making me sit on a god awful looking train, but I think it's a classy looking livery. It's obviously they're the Ryanair. If we lived in America, you'd be fair sick of them, pretty sharpish. But the fact that we don't get to see them still a little bit special. I quite like the fact that the blue sneak tail. I think that's a nice little touch. So you got like the yellow, the red, and then it just sneaks into the blue there. And, yeah, I think it's a pretty smart livery altogether. Like they're about their special liveries, and we have done before, which are absolutely sensational. But it's their sort of base colour scheme, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were very much like the old Southwest trains. Immediately, as soon as you said that, I instantly knew what you were sort of talking about and things like that, and I can kind of relate to it as well because, like I say, Southwest trains are all I know. And last time I went up to to London, you could see like the newer sort of livery trains, and you just think, really? Like you kind of lose something with the old Southwest trains livery as well. But I mean, again, like I said, it's colour and it's blue with the red and the sort of off yellow / sort of very light orange sort of thing. I imagine it's probably more of a yellow. But it is stunning. It is quite nice, and it's for me it's much more cleaner than like the old Southwest livery where it had it come down the tail and then go right down sort of towards the front of the plane. Whereas this is very sort of clean, and I do like it. I do like it. Again, it's one that you'd spot from a mile away as well. So they're obviously doing something right.
Yeah, I'm just chuckling at Ian's comment. Like that's unreal. There you go.
We'll read that out in a second.
Yeah.
But no, it is a nice livery for sure. Let's see what people think. Carl Crawford says it says cheap flights. I'll read the rating out in a second. Gail says it's bold and bright. Wayne Hartshorn says looks like 737 parked in a stagecoach bus's body shops area. London Plane Spotting says always wish Ryanair did something like that. Then Jim and Rob also going for the stagecoach vibe. Jack says, I'm shocked Steve didn't choose the Independence livery, but you like the livery, the Orca one also is nice. There you go. You didn't pick the Independence one. Jack's not happy about it.
Very sorry, Jack, but you can always, of course.
Mind you, if Jack picked it, he'd give it a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Needs a bit of yeah, I think, like I said, most of it is pretty much ratings and stuff. So out of 10 then, Steve? Southwest?
0.5.
What was that? 7.5.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, solid score. Solid score. Let's have a look and see what people have put here. So Carl Crawford gave it a 10. Gail Leary gave it 7. Wayne Hartshorn gave it a 3. Very savage this evening. Ian's comment of Southwest livery reminds me of the trains down south, so I'd give it a get me back up north out of 10. See ya. Michael Painter, I like it. 7.5 out of 10. Jack Wells gives it an 8 out of 10. Lynn Keeble gives it a 6. London Planespotting gives it a 6. Darren Smith also gives it a 6. MaxJet TV Live Express, name is constantly changing, gives it a 10. Rob Brown with a 5. Jim with a 9. Oh God, yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's a Chaz and Dave reference from Jack. So that's fair enough. Alrighty, last one, and it's going to upset probably one person here because it is a particular airline that he's not a fan of. Deep down, he loves them. It's the TAP Retro.
Yeah.
This wasn't purposely. wasn't purposely thrown in at the end. This is just how the order was run, and I was watching it load, and I was like, "It's going to come out at the end, isn't it?" And it loaded at the end, and here we are. So here we are with the TAP Retro. Obviously seen on the likes of the 330 and the A319 as well, now adorning an A321 Neo. Steve, why'd you pick it?
Yeah, no, I've been lucky enough to see this one in person last year. This is retro done right. It's simple, still quite striking. I know there's only a little bit of grey on it, bit above the cheek line there, but there's just something about it. It's like proper old school. It takes you back to a different time of aviation when looking like this, and even the fact that like the writings in Portuguese, obvious it's going to be, but it's just a really nice touch, and it's like taking it's classy. It's how it should be. A retro to me should look like that.
Let's hear from TAP Air Portugal's biggest fan, Ian Hartley, who says, "OMG, the TAP Retro is an absolutely amazing plane. Mind you, the standard livery is also stunning. I love TAP. TAP loves me." Very good. Thanks for the comment there, Ian, expressing your love for TAP, of course. It's a class livery. I like the little Portuguese flag that's on the winglet as well. I think that's a nice touch as well. Yeah. Obviously, in the older times when the livery was around, I think that grey bit would be chrome, I believe, from older pictures that I've seen. I believe it's also been worn by a 747 when TAP had 747s for a very brief time. I'm fairly certain this livery was on it, which is also quite smart as well. So it's nice. I mean, even the ones that's been on, like the 319, has been quite. It was quite nice on there. 330, it looked phenomenal, for sure. So yeah, it's. I do like it. Darren Smith says there's a German flag on the tail. That's because this was taken at the Hamburg factory, so that is why there is a German flag on the tail. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. There is a German flag on the tail. But yeah. So I like it. I think it's wonderful. I do think it's a nice little livery. I don't think I've seen this one yet. If I'm honest.
Got lucky with it last year at Heathrow, last February.
Yeah, I don't think I have seen it. I'm sure I haven't, but like I say, I don't pass up a TAP plane. I think that the livery is wonderful, as Ian said as well. You know, he's a huge fan of the standard livery, let alone the retro. So, I think he said about doing a particular show on TAP as well, and wanted to speak for an hour and a half as to why he loved it so much. But
well, you probably find he's busy.
Yeah. Well, busy researching, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's TAP. Right. Let's have a look. People just thinking it's classy, looks good. Yeah, just like I say. I mean, Wayne Hartshorn got the model in the post. Oh, he's got a model in the post as we speak of that plane. Michael Painter says it's far better than the standard TAP livery, which is terrible. Don't know if Ian would be happy about that. Gail Leary says that retros are class. Wayne Hartshorn, very big fan, says very classy, my favourite of the evening. Beautiful. Tian Hartley says it's the strongest 10 out of 10 I've ever given. And Darren Smith saying that Charlie Sierra Tango Juliet Romeo was in Oslo last week.
TN's changed their tune because nothing was perfect earlier on.
No, yeah, nothing was perfect. Yeah, oh, court outlook.
Yeah.
Tisk. There you go. Look, Ian, I could go on about how wonderful the standard livery is. I know you could. I've heard it all before. I've heard it all before. Darren Smith, for the record, would look great on an MD-11. I'm assuming this one. I think it would. Okay, is there a mock-up? Hang on. Let's have a look. Is there a mock-up of a TAP MD-11? There is in the old livery, but not the retro. I don't think. I'm going to say that there isn't, but I will show this off, which I believe is another flight sim picture. Hold on. Oh, it's not even... Okay, hang on. There we go. So this is what it would look like in the previous livery, not this retro. I mean, if the TriStar wore it quite well, I imagine it would look good on the MD-11. What are we saying?
It's got a proper retro feel to it. I'll give it that. I prefer the.
This is probably my favorite version of the Air Portugal livery. This is probably my favorite. This is what I saw when I was a kid on the A340s and things like that, and the A320s and that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. I probably prefer the other one that I've picked there, but yeah, it's proper old school, isn't it? Without a doubt.
All right, out of 10 then, Steve. Last one. What are you giving the TAP retro?
Today I'm going to hit it with a 10.
With a
smashing
10.
job, TAP. Well done.
Nice one. I think Ian agreed. He said he put it with his love of glacier cherries, orange. I'm assuming pits. And even pineapple on pizza. So it's right up there as some of his favorites, which is good to see. Yeah, lots of people liking it. 9s and 10s and 7s. So it scores quite highly. Darren Smith says it looks better on the 330. Yeah, fair play. Fair play indeed. Right, cool. So we got there in the end. Not too much savagery, which is probably the first time, I think, for this this show that we've not had absolute absolute savagery. So I think we've done well to get through without it. Right, announcements time before we go off and end the show. So as I said, there is no show next Sunday because I am away. But when we come back on the 19th of February is the next time that we're on the on a Sunday. It is, of course, the return of this. Not the final thumbnail. However, Quizness Jet 2 returns on the 19th of February. Taking part is, of course, the reigning defending Quizness Jet champion, Steve. And trying to take that crown is, of course, Mr. Upside Down, Jack Rolls. If you haven't seen that segment yet, I urge you to go and look at it on the first one. It is funny as hell. Where Jack turns his phone upside down and doesn't realize we're telling him to turn it back round. So Jack will be looking to take the crown for another time, or a second attempt. But also joining is, of course, my favorite YouTuber and all-round very funny man, Matt Cochran, who will be joining us from Atlanta Airport for this one. And I can see it already, so I'm going to bring it back on the screen in a minute. And also our resident A330 pilot, who I'm assuming will confirm that she'll be on. but she'll let me know a few days beforehand. Alison will be looking to take the crown from Steve. Like I said, this isn't the final thumbnail, so there are more pictures. There's another guy as well, waiting for a picture, fan of the show, a guy called Wilson Simons will be joining as well. So 4 competitors for Steve's Quizness Jet to Championship. Steve, just how much are you looking forward to the 19th of February? I tried to keep it together.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be, like I said earlier on, it's been a pleasure and also a burden because I can't even go to the shops. You're such a legend. You're such a star. I can't believe how much knowledge you got. Your picture of a car had a massive chopper on it. I was like, I know, it was a good drawing. But yeah, with the exception of Jack, there's going to be some worthy contenders there. So I dare say I'd imagine my crown's going to go, but it's going to be a great show. It was a proper good laugh. Last will be equally as good this time.
Very much looking forward to the second edition. Like I said, there are still spots open. There's no limits to how many people are on. So, like I said, we've got. I'm trying to think now. It says. I think we've got space for 4 more people. I think. I'm sure we've got. Let me just bring that on now. But hang on. 5, including me, 6. Yeah, 4 more people. So if you fancy coming on the 19th of February, you've got until Valentine's Day, so the 14th of February, to book yourselves in to try and take the crown from Steve and become Quizness Jet champion. So there's that. What else have we got here as well? I think that might be it, isn't it? I thought there was more, but obviously not. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, there'll be a poll. Right, okay, breaking news. Breaking news. I've just had it in the chat. I've just had a message thrown into me. Ian Hartley will be joining as well. So Ian is in. So we've got room for 3 more people. Ian is in. So it'll be Ian, Jack, Alison, Matt, and Wilson looking to take Steve's crown. Steve, you can have quite a hard time retaining it, I think.
I'm only worried you still use Velcros to put their shoes on, so I'm fairly confident.
Oh dear. Yeah, it should be interesting. So so Ian's booked himself in. So we'll get I'll get the proper thumbnail done at some point, but that's just a little guide basically. February 19th, Quizness Jet 2 returns. I feel like there's something else. Wasn't anything else, so that's fair enough. People just like begging people to put their names forward. Literally, I've got space for I can put 10 people on this stream. So as long as we get 10 people, or 9 included, 10 including me, so nine people in. So that's fair enough. You can join in if you like. Just drop us a message on the social media that are down below, and everything else. Cool, nice. All right, so let's start to end the show. We'll do some shout outs. Obviously, this is part of the show where we shout out friends, family, loved ones, etc. And you guys can do some shout outs as well, and we'll show them on screen as we do ours. Steve, would you like to go first with some shout outs?
Yeah, no, I've got 1 or 2 tonight. I really don't want to forget anyone, and it's a bit rough. Big shout out to all our mods, everyone on the team. Like you've done in the background and that, and it's nice to be part of it still and have a good chat. Obviously, Tom, mate, you're a legend. You put a lot of work into this, and I hope people at home actually put into it, because it's not just a show up and here's the show. Like a lot of effort. I know we're brother's been here tonight, so shout out to him and her at home. So I hope you're having a decent weekend. And young, the final one, and I understand the birthday this week. So a big shout out to my old mate Ian Hartley, and have a wonderful during the week, mate, and all the best for it.
Fantastic. We didn't disappoint Lewis, which is good news. Wonderful to hear. So yeah, thanks for tuning in today. Much appreciated. Yeah, I suppose I say shout out to everybody that's watched this evening. Like I say, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. I think people tend to think that just that shout out there, that's quite funny. Everyone's just shouting out Jack's cooking. Carl Crawford says shout out to the fire brigade saving Jack. Brilliant. Big thank you to everyone that's watched. It's been a real blast this evening. It's been super funny. Super funny. There will be a poll going into the community tab to get the name decided for Jack's segment. We've decided we're going to do it. Jack's going to work with us and basically take pictures of what he has cooked, not his mum, not anyone else, right? No one else, just stuff that he has cooked. So yeah, we'll get him to send some pictures. But a poll will go into the community tab on YouTube to vote for the name of the segment, and then I'll start putting it together for next time that we are here. But yeah, big thank you to you, Steve, for finding the time this evening to come and do this ratings show. Yeah, obviously shout out to Ian for turning 21 this week. So good stuff. Yeah, all that's left for me to say is I will see you in 2 weeks' time for Quizness Jet 2. Yeah, have a fantastic 2 weeks. We're here on, trying to think now. We've got it down as Tuesday, but that could possibly change depending on my work schedule. But Tuesday we are doing aircraft carrier landings in big planes. So 747s, A320s, fighter jets, etc. We're going to attempt some carrier landings in any plane that we can get our hands on, which will be fun, which means gives me a nice excuse to land the plane hard. But yeah, so we're on Tuesday, if not Wednesday. Keep up with that. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for that. Steve, do you want to say goodbye to those that are still watching? If I do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say thanks to the regulars, you know who you are, and thanks to the ones who've joined with it, because there's some really good shows to come up and some proper decent laughs. So it's join Tom on that. So just leaves me to say, cheerio, my lovelies. Stay safe until next time. Take care of yourselves. All right. Cheerio now.
Oh man, that kiss at the end, honestly. Wonderful. Jim, that's cheeky. There is nothing new there. That's why it gives me an excuse to land the plane nice and hard. All right. Yeah, all that's left for me to say is enjoy the start of the week. I will see you either Tuesday or Wednesday for the carrier landings. About 7:15 p.m. Don't forget to vote in the community tab. Don't forget to hit the join button to become a member and get your personal shout outs, etc. as well. So you help the channel out. Everything else that I've already told you, all that good stuff. Right. Also, now time to see if I've put Lynn's name in there. Take care, everybody. See you on Tuesday. Have a good start of the week. Bye. The answer is no, I didn't.